Oh yeah, that's wide.
Yodels, what's up? My name is Dan Virchow and I'm a photographer, videographer based out of wherever I may be on any given day, which for the sake of this review happens to be fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. Today we're going to be looking at a lens that I've had my eye on for a while. It's the Fujifilm XF 8mm f3.5 RWR. Nailed it. Now, if you don't speak fluent Fuji, the R is for aperture ring, which once you go aperture ring, you really can't go back. And the WR is for weather resistant. Since Fujifilms are crop sensors, this 8mm is actually the equivalent of a 12mm on a full frame camera. Pretty wide. So this isn't really gonna be a technical review, it's more so just gonna be a showcase of what this thing can do. Quick disclaimer, I bought this with my own money. It's something that I've been eyeing, I've been curious about, so I went to the local camera store here and I picked one up. So just a little context to kick this off. I shoot Canon for my professional work, and I just shoot Fuji for fun, because they are fun. They have these cool bodies, like this is the XT5. It's got the classic dials on it and everything, and they're small and they feel good, they look really retro. I like that, but I'm just not confident enough in the system yet to use it for paid work. So currently, I'm shooting this video on the Fujifilm XF 16mm 2.8. Really cool little lens, perfect for just walking around doing street photography. It's a 24mm equivalent on a full frame, but if we were to switch to the 8mm, this is what it would look like. Extremely wide. You can see this entire room, all its imperfections. You can even see my rainbow trout slippers that I have back there. I've had these for a long time. I need to do something with that shelf. So this is actually a pretty cool view, pretty cool perspective like this. But for the sake of this video, we're gonna go back to the 16mm. We might come back to this later. You're gonna see a lot of it in this video, but this is what it is in a small room just like this. So to test this thing out, to see what it's capable of, I took it around the Las Vegas area. I took it on a few dates with the Fujifilm X-H2S, which I'm filming this video on right now. And the first stop was Red Rock Canyon, which is outside of Vegas. It's amazing. Really cool place to check out. And when I went out there, I didn't have a variable ND filter yet, because if you're gonna be doing video, with basically any lens, you need a variable ND filter during the daytime. So I didn't have one then, so we probably won't see much footage from that because it was just all at f/22. It was completely maxed out. It wasn't great. Since then, I've gotten the K&F Concept variable ND plus circular polarizer filter. Pretty cool, check this out. I mean, does life get much better than that? It doesn't. So we see what that thing can do a little bit later on in the video. The second place I stopped was Fremont Street, the old strip as some people like to call it. I drove down there on a Friday night, which was a complete mistake. It was a little bit busy. And when I got there happened to be a pride parade going on, so there was a whole lot of people, and it was actually a good way to put this thing to the test to see what it could do in a low light situation. The next morning, I went for a quick rip on the Vegas Strip. So after a couple hours on the strip, I made a spur-of-the-moment decision to go to 7 Magic Mountains, which is this really cool spot right outside of Vegas. It's just these colorful pillars out in the middle of the desert. It's free to check out, so a really cool thing to see if, you're in the area and just need something to do. But this was also a great opportunity to show what you could do with the lens this wide, to manipulate the photos, to get some really cool shots that are simplistic. 7 Magic Mountains is a cool place to check out if you need a new shot for Instagram, or if you just want to see something that's odd. So for my final trick with the Fujifilm 8mm lens, I headed back out to Red Rock Canyon, this time equipped with the K&F Concepts variable ND filter. This is a super cool place. It's very relaxing. It's very quiet. And there's a lot to explore. Closes at 7 p.m. though. So you get to watch the sunset, then they kick you out. It's a gecko. Let's see if we can get close with this super wide lens. Great place for your next band photo shoot. Oh, thank God. Chair. Kick ass. So when you come out to a place like this that's just huge and everything is epic, and even a lens that's 8mm can't even do justice to how cool these views are, I think that it justifies its own existence being out at a place like this. And even the price. I can't imagine coming out to a place like this and not having a lens with this focal length or something near it. And not only that, it's so small. It's like this big. The lens. That was stupid. But yeah, let's say you're a person who vlogs, which I normally don't. I am today. I mean, just look at this. You can see everything with this lens. And then you get real close and it's terrifying. You don't want to do that. Just look how much this distorts your face when you get up to it. No! Keep it back here. Keep your distance. Just gotta point out too that if you're a solo content creator or you just do a lot of stuff on your own, you need a camera and you want to get some photos of the stuff you're doing, this is a pretty top tier selfie lens. All right, so let's wrap this up. The Fujifilm 8mm 3.5 lens. I think this is a really, really cool product. Let's talk about the pros. It's obviously got a really small size. The lens. I mean, look at this thing. Let's just do a comparison here quick. All right, now I know that this is a real apples and oranges comparison here, but when I go wide on my Canon system, the lens that I normally use is a 15-35. Yeah, like I said, it's not really a fair comparison, but look at the size of this lens compared to this entire package. So there's that. And not only that, a prime lens, for example, the RF 50mm, it's heavy, it's huge. That's one of the advantages of using a crop sensor camera. They get a bad rap for a long time, but man, it saves you a lot of pain in your back, trust me. Another pro is the build quality. I love the way these Fuji lenses are made. They have this cool metal build and the aperture rings are just, listen to that click. So good. It's small, it's compact, it feels good, it's light. There's not a lot to dislike about that. And another pro, and probably the most important pro, is that it's just fun to use. You know, when you do photography and videography stuff, so often you just get really bored of your stuff. That's how you get gas, that gear acquisition syndrome, right? But a lens like this, it's fun because it inspires you, because it's weird. You just get a lot of interesting perspectives, and you can probably get shots with a lens like this that nobody's ever gotten before. That's why it's fun to use. Now, for some cons, there's not really a lot, but one main thing that sticks out to me is that with this lens, it is pretty hard to compose a shot. You feel like you nailed it, and then you get the files back on your computer or whatever, and you look at them and you're thinking, what happened here? Some of my shots got really just wonky and they looked good in camera, but it's a difficult lens to use in that regard. It's something that you'll get used to, just like anything. That being said, there's certain situations that you can use a lens like this. For example, out at Red Rock Canyon, a place like that, where no matter how you compose the shot, you really can't screw it up just because of how strange the nature is and just the entire environment. Everything looks good with that wide angle. Let's address the 3.5 aperture. Would it be nice if this was a 2.8? Of course. I mean, the more light you can let in, the better. But also, think about this. How much bigger would this lens have to be? How much more would it cost? And do you actually need a 2.8 aperture on a lens like this? I just don't think for what most people use this for, you do. A wide angle like this is something that you'll probably primarily be using during the day, and it's very likely that you'll be shooting a lot higher up in the scale than a 3.5 anyway, probably like a 5.6, even to an 8, something like that. So I really don't think a 2.8 was totally necessary. It's basically made for day trips and cool landscapes and architecture, all of which you'll probably have a lot of light coming in when you're using it. And I'm not even gonna mention price as a con because once again, money means something different to everybody. But I can say this, a little perspective, if Canon or someone was to make a lens like this, you know, an 8mm prime, or let's say a 12mm prime that was pretty good quality, weather sealed, because they have good quality lenses that are affordable, but they're not weather sealed, which is a deal breaker to me. They would charge well over $1,000 for this, probably twice as much as you can get this lens for. So then the big question, should you buy this lens? The simple answer to that is, I don't know. So let's deconstruct this just a little bit then. If you're investing in the Fujifilm system and you need a wide angle to complete your kit, then absolutely get something like this. The alternative is the 8-16 Fujifilm lens, and that thing is huge. The lens. If you travel a lot, absolutely get this lens. Just look at it. It takes up no space in your bag, and you're not gonna miss anything with this. That's really a key point here. When you have a lens like this and you're just out on the Las Vegas Strip, you take a photo, you are seeing so much. I mean, there was times I was getting 3 different properties in the same shot. It was insane. You're not gonna miss anything. So if that's a concern of yours, you're not sure what focal length to get on a trip or something like that, absolutely go 8mm. But if you are just a casual shooter, it might not be the thing for you. You probably get it, you'll use it for a day, have fun with it, put it back in your bag, and just forget it's even there. Done that with a lot of lenses. You just kind of have to be looking for a specific look to really get the most out of this lens. And like I said, maybe that look is just seeing everything, or maybe it's just that strange perspective. But for the everyday shooter, might not be it. So, bottom line, if you want to make grand things look grander, if you want to showcase the impressive landscape of impressive landscapes, I'm really crushing this. If you shoot real estate, if you shoot concerts, if you shoot adult content and need things to look bigger, I'm just saying. Lens. Or if you just want to see everything from a new, fun perspective, then maybe the Fujifilm XF 8mm is for you. Tell you what, I love this lens. I'm very happy with my purchase, and I know I'm gonna make a lot of great memories with this. So, have you used this lens? Did you buy it yourself? Have you rented it? Does your friend have one? Have you seen it in person to see just how tiny the thing is? The lens. Comment below, let me know what you think. I'm gonna try and get this YouTube channel going. I've wanted to for a long time. Please subscribe to the page. Just interact with me and I will interact with you. Stoked to be here. Comment below and I'll see you next time. Rainbow Trout Slippies. Everyone should have a pair of these.